Coulomb's law. The force between two charged bodies was studied by Coulomb in 1785. Coulomb's law states that the force of attraction or repulsion between 2 point charges is directly proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. The direction of forces is along the line joining the 2 point charges. Let Q1 and Q2 be 2 point charges placed in air or vacuum at a distance r apart. Then, according to Coulomb's law, F directly proportional to Q1 into Q2 divided by r square, or F is equal to K into Q1 into Q2 divided by r square, where K is a constant of proportionality. In air or vacuum, K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, where epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space, that is, vacuum, and the value of epsilon 0 is given as follows. F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q1 Q2 by r square, and 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 is equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9 nm squared c to the power of minus 2. In the above equation, Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to 1c and r is equal to 1m, then F is equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9 into 1 into 1 by 1 square is equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton. 1 coulomb is defined as the quantity of charge which, when placed at a distance of 1 meter in air or vacuum from an equal and similar charge, experiences a repulsive force of 9 into 10 raised to 9 newtons. If the charges are situated in a medium of permittivity epsilon, then the magnitude of the force between them will be Fm is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon into Q1 Q2 by r square. Dividing the equation 1 by 2, F by Fm is equal to epsilon by epsilon 0, that is equal to epsilon r. The ratio epsilon divided by epsilon 0 is equal to epsilon r is called the relative permittivity or dielectric constant of the medium. The value of epsilon r for air or vacuum is 1. Epsilon is equal to epsilon 0 into epsilon r. Since Fm is equal to F divided by epsilon r, then the force between 2 point charges depends on the nature of the medium in which the two charges are situated.
Let's have a discussion on Coulomb's law. This fundamental law of electrical science is also referred as inverse square law. According to this law, if two charged bodies are kept at a certain distance, they will experience an attractive or repulsive force depending upon the nature of their charges. If the bodies are charged by similar electrical charge, they will repel each other. If the bodies are charged by opposite electrical charge, they will attract each other. Suppose one body is positively charged with plus Q1 and the other body is negatively charged with minus Q2. The force acting between them is attractive. Again, one body is positively charged with plus Q1 and other body is positively charged with plus Q2. The force acting between them is repulsive. Again, one body is negatively charged with minus Q1 and other body is negatively charged with minus Q2. The force acting between them is again repulsive. The force is a vector quantity, which means it has direction in addition to its magnitude. Here the force acts along the straight line joining the centers of the charged bodies. Now, if you increase the charge Q1 keeping Q2 unchanged, the force is obviously increased. If you decrease the charge Q1 keeping Q2 unchanged, the force is obviously decreased. Similarly, if you increase the charge Q2, keeping Q1 unchanged, the force between them is again increased. If you decrease the charge Q2, keeping Q1 unchanged, the force is obviously decreased. According to Coulomb's law, force F between them is directly proportional to either Q1 or Q2, or in other words, F is proportional to the product of Q1 and Q2. Now, by keeping their charge fixed at Q1 and Q2, if we bring the charged bodies nearer to each other, the force between them increases. And if we take them away from each other, the force between them decreases. If the distance between their centers is r, it can be proved that force acting on them is inversely proportional to r square. It is also obvious that this force is not same for every medium. For example, if the bodies are kept in air, the force is different from the force while they are kept in water. Variation of force according to the medium is determined by a constant. Say this is r. The force acting between the charge is expressed as F equal to Q1 into Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 epsilon r into r square, where epsilon 0 is the permittivity of air or vacuum and its value is 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 farads per meter, and epsilon r is the relative permittivity of the surrounding medium in respect to the permittivity of air or vacuum.
Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law states that the electrostatic force between two electric charges is directly proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. If Q1 and Q2 are 2-point charges separated by a distance r, the electrostatic force F between the charges is given by F is directly proportional to Q1 Q2 by r square, or F is equal to K of modules of Q1 Q2 by r square, where K is a positive constant called Coulomb's constant. This value depends on the medium between the two charges. A. If the charges are in vacuum, then in SI units, K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, where epsilon naught is the permittivity of space. The value of epsilon naught is equal to 8.854 into 10 power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square, which was obtained by experiments. Thus K is equal to 8.988 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Subtopics: Unit of charge, Coulomb. Vector form of Coulomb's law. Unit of charge, Coulomb. The unit of charge is Coulomb and is denoted by C. 1 coulomb of charge is that charge which, when placed 1 meter from another charge in vacuum, experiences an electrical force of repulsion of magnitude 9 into 10 power 9 newtons. B. If the charges are immersed in matter, then epsilon naught is replaced by E(a), quantity characteristic of the matter involved. Then K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. The number epsilon naught is called absolute electric permittivity of the dielectric medium. In vacuum, epsilon is equal to epsilon naught, and the ratio epsilon r is equal to epsilon by epsilon naught is known as dielectric constant or relative permittivity. So Coulomb's law is written as F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by r square. Vector form of 1, 2 bar is equal to K into Q1 Q2 by r square of minus r2 1 cap is equal to minus K Q1 Q2 r square minus r2 1 cap. is equal to minus F2 1 bar. That is F1 2 bar is equal to minus F2 1 bar. Thus Coulomb's law agrees with Newton's third law.
In this video lecture, we are going to learn about Coulomb's law in vector form. So, what do you mean by Coulomb's law? So, this Coulomb's law is also called as electrostatic force or Coulomb's force between two charges. So, I am going to consider the two charges. Suppose Q1 and Q2 are the 2 point charges. They are separated by distance r, and they are present in the air medium. Suppose this Q1 and Q2 are the positive charges. Now, what we have to do in the Coulomb's vector law? What is the Coulomb's law statement? Coulomb's law states that there is always a force of attraction or repulsion between two electric charges when they are placed in certain medium. It may be an air medium, water medium, or any dielectric medium. So this force states that law states that force is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of two charges, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So we are going to study this Coulomb's law statement in the vector form. So in the vector form, the force is always a vector quantity, so it will have a magnitude as well as direction. So we will think in that point of view. So let's start. So now see here, as these two are the like charges, so there is obviously the force of repulsion. If they would have been an unlike charges, then there will be a force of attraction. So as we have considered this case, both are like charges, then there will be always a force of repulsion. So I will show that forces in this manner. Why I have shown these forces in this manner? Because the Coulomb's force between two charges is always a central force. That means it acts along the center of the two bodies. So how to read the force acting on second? So see here, F, that is force acting on second charge. How to write this? Force acting on second charge due to first charge. Denote it by the bar. Similarly, force acting on first charge due to second charge, it is denoted by F1 bar. Why I have shown the directions opposite in the direction? Because both are like charges and they used to repel each other. So that's why they are directed outwards. See here, this is also directed outward, this is also directed outward. Two charges are separated by distance r. Now you have to consider two unit vectors along the direction of these forces. So F21 bar, there is a unit vector along direction. How to read this? Force acting on second charge due to first charge. So this force is due to first charge. So there will be a unit vector from first to second charge, and it is denoted by R12 cap. Similarly, force acting on first charge due to second charge. So it will be denoted by R21 cap. So that means it is directed along the direction of force F12 bar. So we have four terms now with us: F12 bar, F21 bar, then R12 cap and R21 cap. So now how to read that? Just see here. Force acting on first charge due to second charge. Force acting on second charge due to first charge. R12 cap is the unit vector directed along which force? F21 bar. R21 cap is the unit vector directed along which force? F12 bar. So this is the prerequisite for the Coulomb's law in vector form. So now we will write down the equation according to the Coulomb's statement. So I will write here F1. I will start with F21 bar first. Force acting on second due to first. It is given by the formula 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, as it is in air medium, multiplied by Q1 into Q2 upon square of the distance between them, multiplied by, which is the unit vector along this direction, it's R12 cap. So I will write here it as R12 cap. I will call this as equation 1. Similarly, force acting on first due to second charge is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught multiplied by product of two charges q1 into q2 upon square of the distance between them multiplied by, which is unit vector along this direction, it's r21 cap. Now see, most of the student gets confused how to set this direction. It's very simple. Force acting on first due to second. So that means the unit vector must be directed from second to first. So how to read this? From second to first. Similarly, force acting on second due to first. So that force must be from 1 to 2. So unit vector must be directed from 1 to 2, like that. So we have two equations with us now, first equation and second equation. And what is our prerequisite now? See here, r12 cap and r21 cap, both are the unit vectors and they are directed opposite to each other. So as they are opposite to each other, they are shown by negative sign. So if I replace this r12 cap by minus r21 cap into equation 1, then that equation will become, see here, just I will replace that and it will be replaced by minus r21 cap, and this minus sign I will take at the outside of this bracket and it will become like this. Now observe this quantity, this entire quantity and this equation 2. So both right hand sides are equal except the negative sign. So we can say that the force acting on second charge due to first charge is equal to force acting on first charge due to second charge. They are equal in magnitude, but as this negative sign indicates, they are opposite in direction. That means they are repulsive in the nature. If instead of this positive charges, it would have been a negative charges, then if first charge is positive and second charge is negative, then there will be a force of attraction between these two charges and there will be no presence of this negative sign. In some of the books, instead of 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, they have used the constant of proportionality as k. K can be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 multiplied by epsilon r, where epsilon r is the permittivity of the medium, epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space. But this epsilon r is not, for the air medium is always going to be equal to 1. So that's why this k can be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So here this constant of proportion